Betrayed, reborn, vengeful. A fallen hero rises from disgrace. His blade hungers for the throats of former allies. Let's talk about it, shall we? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast you can find at www.spiraken.com. Also on youtube.com/Spiraken, Instagram, TikTok, Stitcher, and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKEN. I'm also on Blue Skies. All this will be in the show notes. But hope you're enjoying and hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode. And if you are watching on YouTube, remember to, as always, like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notification when we release new episodes. And let's actually get to it because I am excited to talk about this manga that honestly is just as dark as Berserk's Black Swordsman arc with a little bit of a twist to it. And what is the manga that we're talking about? Well, we are talking about that one, that only, Übel Blatt by Etorouji Shiono. And this is a story brought to us by Yen Press that recently got a huge special edition. This is on par with the Berserk hardcovers, the Vinland Saga super hardcovers. This thing is a tome. And this story is a story of betrayal, revenge, action, a little bit of fan service, and a lot of insanity. And it is the story of the kingdom of Seinen. And Seinen is known as the Land of Plenty. And why is that? Because 20 years ago, the kingdom was saved from ruin by 7 heroes. The story goes that 20 years ago, Seinen was under attack by the evil nation of Wistek. And Wistek is this formidable country that has powerful weapons, dark magic, and is truly evil. And so, the emperor blessed 14 lances with his power and gave them to 14 warriors who were going to enter the territory. And after the territory was saved, only 7 returned. What happened was that, according to the 7 who talked, 3 of the members lost their lives on the journey. But the remaining 4, the other 4, they betrayed the country. They were evil, and the 7 warriors had to take care of them in order to be true heroes. And this is truly harsh because the leader of the 4 was a fabled young swordsman named Asheret. And Asheret was the Blatt Master, or the Blade Master, the most exceptional swordsman in all the land. And so, since then, there has not been another Blatt Master. And more importantly, things have been kind of, well, okay. I mean, as the 7 have been heralded as the heroes of the kingdom, they are amazing and wonderful, and everyone loves them. But, as we all know, victors tell the story. And what really happened? Well, it depends. And our story begins 20 years later, where apparently the Lances of Betrayal have returned, and they're causing havoc on the outskirts of Seinen. And a young man has appeared to take them on. This young man has elf-like features and wields a black blade. And he's amazing. Apparently he is a better fighter than that famed Asheret, who's come back to take his revenge, and the 4 other warriors. And it's odd because this young man obviously looks like a child, but he has the skills of a grown-up. And a lot of people underestimate him, think he's just a weakling, but in reality, he is an amazing swordsman who is stronger than all the lances. And he goes through each of the lances one by one, leading up to Asheret, taking revenge for the evil that they're doing because they're flying the Black Wing flag, named after the ultimate finishing move of the Blight Master, the Black Wing, which is apparently a imperialist, unbeatable move. And after taking on and defeating all of these guys in amazing combat. Oh, by the way, this is only 3 chapters where this goes through. So this is not spoiling much, trust me. This is actually volume 0. After fighting them, he ends up finally reaching Asheret. And this young man who has identified himself as Koinzell has decided to fight and win, and Asherat, this evil villain, is saying, I am undefeatable, I am the true betrayer of the lances, and I will get my revenge on these 7 warriors. Mahahaha. And Koinzell, being the kick-ass kid he is going to take him on. And after an amazing fight, Koinzell beats Asherat. And the thing is that Asherat shows up and he uses his blade of the black wing, which apparently is he has 2 fake wing swords that appear and cut him. The young man, though, smirks and uses the true black wing technique. Because the truth is, Koinzell is not Koinzell. Koinzell is Asherat. The truth of the matter is that the 4 betrayers of the lance were actually the heroes who saved the day. And the 7 heroes, quote unquote, they ran away, and then when the heroes saved the day, they ambushed them and killed them, changed the narrative to take credit for what Asherat and his 3 friends did. So Asherat, after being reborn in a very horrific way, ends up taking 20 years to regain a form that he can kind of take, and he is going to go get revenge on his 7 former compatriots, one at a time, to get revenge for the betrayal that they did. And this is the story of Asherat, now known as Koinzell, who now has vowed to take the heads of his treacherous companions, who are now noblemen, lords, and the saviors of people. And this is a crazy, violent, and ingenious story that will compel you completely as you go through this. And the best part is that when one of the... because Koinzell has made a name for himself as this savior of the outskirts. And a couple of soldiers of one of the main 7 heroes, Glenn, has been working with him. And when the truth is revealed that he is Asherat, he's like, listen, I've seen you, you're a hero, but I can't go against what Lord Glenn says. So just don't do this. Stay as Koinzell, don't get your revenge, and I don't have to kill you. And Asherat's like, listen, you're not going to kill me. My goal is I'm going to kill every single one of them, and then you can kill me, because I'm not a hero. I am here to get revenge. And this is that story of him getting revenge. And this is the first 3 chapters of this insanely long manga that's 192 chapters, plus an additional sequel series. So this is a long story with a lot that happens. And you have so much that's going on in this, because it is Koinzell getting revenge. But also, the other part is that how Koinzell came back is a little harsh, because it's not that they just betrayed them. It's the 7 heroes killed the Lancets of Brave. They were hurt horribly. In Asherat, they maimed him. They ripped out his eye, they cut off his arm, and he comes back as this little elf boy because he kind of does something which is against nature, inadvertently. And now has this body that he can't really control. It's not like his old body. So he has to learn how to control it. And then you have these 7 heroes who have built their empires up now, hearing that this guy's coming for them, and they don't know who it is. And each one kind of represents the 7 deadly sins, which is a cool element, because obviously 7 numbers, 7 deadly sins works. And this series is violent, it is dark, it is twisted. They do not give 2 fucks about hurting people. Like, children are hurt, kids are hurt, dragons are hurt. They don't care. This is a very dark series, but it is a very good series. Now, there is an essay like in Berserk. However, there is, well, let's be honest, Koinzell is at this point, he's 34 years old in a kid's body, and he has needs, so he kind of does some stuff which is a little Well, there's consent, but it's a little like really, he's like a kid who's super, yeah, well, 20 years. Who knows? The villain of the piece, you have the 7 heroes, and you have Glenn, who is the main conspirator, and then there's all these other members who were involved, and they all were his friends. And they all did screwed up things. Like I said, these were the people he was friends with. Glenn was the son of the emperor, who was someone who wanted to be like Asherat. You had Schwarzwald, who is this one who was a thief who wanted to better himself. You had Barstar. Barstar was a member who he just wanted to be a merchant like his dad, and the person who protected him was Asherat. And they all have their reasons for why they did this, and it's very petty. And like I said, 7 deadly sins: wrath, greed, envy, pride. That's what it's all about. And all these characters are amazing. Now, how's the art? The art is exceptional. Like you saw, there are action set pieces which are tremendous and amazing and violent and gory and what the hell. It's a shame that the anime, because after reading this, I watched the anime season. They skip the entire thing I just explained to you. They just get right into the revenge arc without explaining the whole first couple of chapters, which explains who Asherat is, who a couple of other characters are. Like there is the leader of the Order of the Seven Lances, Razin, who's the one who knows who Asherat is. He has a whole story arc. They don't explain it. They said, okay, here's Koinzell, here's what he's doing. And it's a disservice to this series, but we're not talking about the anime, we're talking about the manga. The manga is fully fleshed out, the art is great, the story is exceptional, the character design is great, the quality of the manga, like I said, there's the original version, which I unfortunately do not have anymore. Yeah, I ended up, Yen Press did an amazing job with this release. They did a great job with this. The special edition I've ordered, it's on order, but like I said, I had to read it now, and wow, this series, holy crap. It is a wild fucking ride. And because of this reason, so the story of revenge, of anger, of just someone trying to right a wrong and deal with a world where people think he and his friends are betrayers. Because that's the thing is, the minute he says his real name, people think he's a monster. And the heroes have ingratiated themselves to the populace. So he's essentially a hero killer. And so people are against him even though he is doing the right thing. Because all of the heroes are horrible people. One of them is experimenting on children. And he's like, oh, I'm a good person. And then you have priests of some of the other ones who, we're the noble priests. You cannot pass us unless you show us your piety. And what is piety? You have to bribe them. The system is corrupt and he's someone going after the corrupt system. And you gotta love it. Asherat is the heart of the story, but there's so many others. There is his pseudo apprentice, the Asht, who is, or Alt. She is the third princess of a kingdom who wants to get revenge on Asherat, Koinzell, and then becomes his apprentice. Then you have Pipi. Her name is Pipi. Well, we think. The thing is, she's a girl that kind of is adopted by Koinzell, and he's like, come here, Pipi. He's like, that's not my name, and you never find out her name. And she's just this elf girl who ends up becoming a really big part of this story. And there's a bunch of other characters, including the squid octopus guy, but spoilers. So with the artwork, with the character, with the design, with the release, with all that, even though it is an expensive book to get now because you can only get the special edition, what am I going to have to get this? Well, let's be honest. This is a really, really, really cool. Read it now. This is a dark fantasy revenge story on par with Berserk, that has dynamic artwork that's captivating. The action sequences are great, especially when you get the new heir apparent to the Blattmeister title, who is just as powerful as Koinzell. And worse than that, he has a connection to Koinzell, which when you find out, your mouth drops. And also Koinzell is on par with Guts as a memorable character because he is someone who has been betrayed, has been hurt. His reasoning you understand, and he does soften up a little bit, especially with some of the elements, but his goal is still the same because he wants to avenge his friends to get the truth out there. And there are some really big twists and turns in this. It's worth it, but if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let me know. You can email me personally at, well, Zan, that's Xan at Spiraken.com. Let me know your thoughts on this. And, well, with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga release for the week because we've got some fun ones and some crazy ones this week. So let's get to it, shall we? So first off, we're starting with The Accomplishment of the Duke's Daughter, Volume 8. Danganronpa 2, Chiki Nanami's Goodbye Despair Quest, Volume 3. Diary of a Female Lead, Volume 3. Dragon and Chameleon, Volume 3. Fire in His Fingertips, Volume 8. Fly Me to the Moon, Volume 28. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Volume 13. Heaven's Official Blessing, the hardcover, Volume 4. Heroine, Saint, No, I'm an All Works Made and Proud of It, Volume 3. I Ship My Rival and Me, Volume 3. I Want to End This Love Game, Volume 6. Just Like Mona Lisa, Volume 5. Rei Yaku, Bound by Law, Volume 6. The Night Lady and the Beast-Eared Child, Volume 3. Magical Buffs, The Supporter Caster is Stronger Than He Realizes, Volume 3. Mao, Volume 20. Madoka Kuraiwa is Impervious to My Charms, Volume 11. Monster Marriage Shop, Volume 3. My Girlfriend's Not Here Today, Volume 4. Ninjaverse Gokudo, Volume 7. Not So Shoujo Love Story, Volume 1. Only I Know the World is Ending and Getting Killed by Rampant Beasts Only Makes Me Stronger, Volume 2. Persona 5, Volume 13. Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling, Volume 10 of the light novel series. Reincarnated as a Sword, light novel, Volume 16. Remnants of Filth, Novel 7, the special edition and regular edition are coming out. Sakura Saku, Volume 7. The Seven Deadly Sins, Box Set 6. Snow Angel, Volume 1. Spider-Man Octogirl, Volume 2. Spy Family Mission Report 221001-1224. The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest, Volume 24. This is the light novel. Suitable Fetish, Volume 3. Though I Am an Inept Villainess, Volume 7. The Too Perfect Saint. Tossed Aside by My Fiancé and Sold to Another Kingdom, Volume 2, the novel. Versus, Volume 3. And then last and certainly not least, we've got Wand Dance, Volume 12. I think this is the last volume of the series. I could be wrong, though. But these are the manga releases for the week. So what are you excited about? Let me know. Email me, Zanspike, at the comments. Comment down below. Now, for the releases, here's what my most anticipated, or the ones I'm most excited about for this week are. It's going to be Fly Me to the Moon, Volume 28, because this series keeps getting better and better, even with all the twists. Not So Shoujo Love Story is a twist on a lot of the romance manga, and I think it's going to be exceptional. We're going to wait and see. The Seven Deadly Sins Box Set 6 looks exceptional. Then we have Snow Angel Volume 1, which that one, just the art looks pretty, I'm not going to lie. And then Spy Family Mission Report 221001-1224. It's a Spy Family omnibus book. I think it's going to be really good, but we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. But I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know what your thoughts about this. Now, beforehand, like always, thank you so much for checking out this podcast and these videos. Every email I get, every comment I get, every new subscriber gives you more motivation to keep doing this. And I love doing this. I want to keep doing this. I'm an old man who reads manga with thick glasses and large print. So tell your friends about this. Check it out. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Spiraken. I think our Gofundme officially is over now, but I'll check that out in a little bit. But I may be starting another one to help us keep the lights on. And more importantly than that, next week I will be at Animazement 2025. Yes, from the 23rd to the 25th. And I've got 3 panels going on. And what are these panels that I'm talking about? Well, we've got on the 23rd, I'm Still Not Old. Main characters over 30 years old. This is going to be in room 306A from 4 to 5:30. Then on the 24th, I've got Horror and Anime and Manga 2025. I've updated it and added some fun new things. This is happening from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. on the 24th to the 25th in room 302 AB. And then last, and certainly not least, on the 25th, I've got Happily Ever After, Wedded Bliss in Anime and Manga from 12:30 to 1:30 in panel room 306A, which is going to be my home for the time. And I honestly hope to see everyone there. I've got a bunch of free gimmies to give away, including a bunch of cell phone cases. Why am I giving them away? I've got some reasons, but I'm giving away cell phone cases. Are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? Well, you're going to have to wait and find out. But I digress. One last bit of news for the Animazement. Greta will not be attending because, unfortunately, some life obligations happened. But worry not, she actually recorded a couple of messages for the panel, so when you go, you may see them there. But I hope to see you at Animazement. And, well, anyway, enough of that chilling. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and let's get to the part that you have all been waiting for, the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a wheel of fortune with 10 slots on it. One I've done is assign a manga title to each of 10 slots. So what we're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is the one I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 592. We are 8 away from episode 600. And we got some fun titles on here, and one which will be an exceptional one if I get it. But let's spin see what we're going to review in the next episode, shall we? That was a really good spin. Number 10, one I've been waiting for a while. Holy crap, it's a Pyronmon! Yes, we get to talk about steampunk samurai in race cars, but essentially wacky races. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Well, you're going to have to wait to find out. And I am skipping next week because I am in con crunch mode, so worry not. I will be back on the 28th, I believe. The 28th, I will do that. I'll also be doing con report, but worry not, I may be doing 2 that week. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode. As usual, I'm your host, Zay, and I'm Gonzell. I'll catch you guys next time, and keep reading manga. See you later.